have got the Canadians, world champions in Eugene, brilliant quartet.
This race is Canadian history.
Aaron Brown was fantastic. Aaron Brown put 2 meters on his opponents.
Canadian heritage moment.
Canada. Who? Canada. Who?
Since Sprint didn't want to show the race, allow me to remind the world what really went down Friday, August 9th in Paris.
Hell, you should be able to run a leg and we still at least get the silver. It's embarrassing that you're watching teams that you know you're better than. Canada. Yeah. Really? Really?
You do not want to miss this.
This is the Mona Lisa. We're in Paris, right? Hang it in the Louvre. Take this moment, take a picture of us 4, hang it in the Louvre. We're immortalized forever, baby. Olympic champ.
This is going to be my best reaction yet. Buckle up, because it's time to react.
We're talking about they got the baton around the track. A reversal of fortune for these men here tonight. Good job, men.
What's good? What's good? Welcome back to another episode of Kingsley TV. My name is Aaron Kingsley Brown and I post videos about the track and field experience and my life as a professional sprinter. So if you vibe with that, consider hitting that subscribe button. Join me on the way to 25,000 subscribers. Okay? It's here, the reaction you've all been waiting for. It's time. We're gonna get into it today. I'm finally gonna react to that special race in Paris. We all know what I'm talking about. That 4x1 Olympic gold, becoming Olympic champions for the first time. Canadian history, iconic. And if you're Canadian, I know you've seen it a million times, but you've never seen it with my in-depth, detailed reaction to it. And I promise this is gonna be worth the wait. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I like to do reaction videos, giving you a behind the scenes of the races that I run. And this one in particular is gonna be very special because it was such an iconic moment. For those of you who don't know, I ran the lead-off leg for Team Canada and we brought it home for our country, winning the Olympic gold in the 4x1. For so many Canadians, it was their favorite moment of the Olympic Games, which is such a crazy feeling. The impact that we had on the nation cannot be understated. A lot of people will remember where they were when we brought home that gold, and it's such an iconic moment that we share with the entire country. My sponsor Nike even took out a billboard to celebrate the moment and really immortalize it for us. And I did a whole video where I was walking through Yonge and Dundas Square, showing my live reaction to seeing the billboard in person. And if you want to go check that out, I'll link it right here so you can watch that after this video. Now, I know a lot of you have been patiently waiting and anticipating this reaction video, and we're gonna get right into it. But first, I want to rewind it back and break down the journey on our road to gold in Paris.
Another US educated athlete, NCAA finalist Aaron Brown of Canada.
The road to the Paris Olympic gold was a journey that was 12 years in the making, starting with London 2012, my first Olympic team, my first year running with the seniors. In the London 2012 Olympics, I was in the relay pool, but I only ran the 200 meters where I finished 9th. And fun fact, that was the first and last time I didn't touch the track for the relay team for Team Canada at a major championships. But the guys that did go out there and run for Team Canada in the 4x1 ended up winning a bronze medal and did Canada proud momentarily before getting disqualified, unfortunately, for stepping on the line. But even though they got disqualified, it really changed my perception of what was possible for a Team Canada team. Before they won that bronze medal, I hadn't seen a Canadian team step on the podium since the 90s with Donovan Bailey, Bruni Surin, Glenn Roy, and Robert Esme and those boys. So now as a young 20-year-old, I'm thinking, okay, I want to bring us back to glory and see Canada rise up in the future and get on that podium.
Yeah, we got momentum off of this, so why not? We showed that we're one of the best relay teams in the world, so we got to go out and show it again.
So now we're in 2013. I'm officially broken in as a member of Team Canada's 4x1. You see I got the Canada shirt on to represent the fact that I'm officially a member, and I will remain on the team until present day in Paris. But back then in 2013, we were trying to avenge the 2012 team and get Team Canada back on the podium. So later that year, we had the Moscow World Championships where we finished 4th originally, but Great Britain got disqualified and moved us up to that bronze, and we called that the Redeem Team. And we got back on that podium to avenge the bronze medal that we lost the year prior. And as you can see, these guys right here are the ones that got it done. So this represents my first medal on the Senior World Championship stage. Check that out. Boom, Canada's on the map.
Got a bronze in 2013. They're a really classy act, the Canadians.
So fast forward 2 years into 2015 at the Beijing World Championships in the Bird's Nest, and you can see here, we include 2 more members of the 4x1 relay team that ran in Paris. We got my boy DeGrasse and my boy Bucky. Back then, Andre was running 2nd leg and Rodney was running 3rd leg, as he still is now. And we came away with yet another bronze medal after disqualification to another team. This time, it was the US. Check that out. So now we have back-to-back bronze medals and consecutive world championships, and we got a lot of momentum heading into Rio 2016, where we're aiming to get back on the Olympic podium.
DeGrasse will run last for Canada. Keane Haynes will run first. Brown and Rodney in between.
So now it's 2016, the moment we've all been waiting for. We've got back-to-back bronze medals from the World Championships, but we know the Olympic Games is what everyone remembers most, and this is the moment that we're hungry for and waiting for years, ever since London 2012 when we lost that bronze medal. So you can see, we inserted my guy Akeem and kept the other two the same, along with myself. So after going out there and qualifying for the Olympic finals, we ran a really strong race, ultimately breaking the then Canadian record, which used to be 37.69 from the 96 Olympic gold team. We ran 37.64, but unfortunately it was only good enough for 4th place, the worst place you could finish at the Olympics. And given the history of the last 2 World Championships where we got upgraded because of a disqualification, and in 2012 where we got DQ'd, we knew there was a good chance that someone could get disqualified, so we're a little slow to leave the track. But when nothing popped up and we saw everybody taking their victory laps, we went up and did our interview with CBC. It was during that interview that we found out that the US did get disqualified, and we got upgraded to yet another bronze medal, 3 in a row at the major championships. And now we reclaimed that Olympic bronze that we lost in London 2012, and all was right in the world. We broke the Canadian record, we got our Olympic bronze, we're back on the podium, Team Canada's back, and now we're thinking as a team, let's try and get better than bronze. What else can we get? Let's upgrade our color.
Gonna be Canada's gold. A surprise, the United States second, Jamaica third. What drama!
So now with the Olympic bronze medal back where it belonged in Canada, we are setting our sights on bigger things heading into the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. But fast forward to 2017, our luck ran out with podium finishes and we managed to make the finals, but only finished 6th place with Andre hurt on the sidelines. We could only come up with 6th. And then in 2019, we had the gang back together, but we only could run 37.92 in the first round, and we were the first team to not make it. That was probably one of the fastest World Championship prelim times of all time, and we were the first team out with 37.92. Usually that's good enough to make it. Usually that's good enough to get to the podium, but I digress. But the following year, in 2020, we had a big addition. Jerome came down to my training group in Florida, and with him running the way he was running, we knew that having him on the squad meant big things for Canada in the future. And now we set our sights on that gold medal.
Canadians bronze 5 years ago in Rio. Their last gold was 96.
So fast forward to Tokyo 2021, we qualify for the Olympic finals. America, the powerhouse, doesn't make it in. Jamaica's running without Usain Bolt and all the other legends, so they're not the team that they once were. And we really felt like this squad could have a good shot at getting that gold medal, especially with having the Olympic 200-meter champion on our anchor. But as you ultimately know, we finished 3rd in that race. With Jerome being so new on the team, we didn't really have our chemistry down. We kind of messed up the handoffs, and we could only manage yet another bronze medal to add to the collection. But another retroactive disqualification to Great Britain upgraded us to our first senior medal. And the silver lining of that race was now we have the Olympic bronze medal, the Olympic silver medal, and it's set up for the perfect ending for us to go out with a gold in Paris in 2024. Our team will come back, we're hungry, definitely thinking bigger for 2024 and the championships leading up to it. We know we have gold medal potential, so we're gonna go for it again. Bronze medal, hungry for more. I have a full breakdown from the Tokyo Olympics of the 4x1 that you can watch after this race. I'll link that right here if you wanna go and check that out after this video. But moving right along.
It's a North American nation on top of the podium, but it's not the hosts, it's their northerly neighbors.
So now I have 4 medals at the major championships in the 4x1 to my name, 2 Olympic medals and 2 World Championship medals. And after getting our silver medal in Tokyo, we really feel like going into the next quad, we want to aim for that gold medal, because we feel like with this squad, this talent that we got, we can make Canadian history and be the best relay team in the world. And anything short of that Olympic gold medal would be seen as a failure. So with gold in our minds, we fast forward to 2022 in Eugene, where we had the World Championships in hostile US territory, and we went out there and snatched that gold medal from the US in Canadian fashion. Underdogs came in and surprised everybody, despite the fact that the US went 1, 2, 3, 5 in the 100 meters and 1, 2, 3 in the 200 meters. I was the only Canadian to make the finals in the 100 and the 200 meters, where I finished 8th and 7th respectively. But despite all that, we still came away victorious, and we came together as a squad and upset the world, where we came and got our first gold medal at the World Championship level. And we really felt like this was a sign of things to come. see any of those races from Eugene, whether it's the 1, 2, or the 4x1 where we ultimately won gold and became world champions, I'm gonna put the reaction playlist right here so you can go and check that one out after this video as well. But before we move on from this race, I wanna highlight something that's very significant. In this race, we went in as underdogs because in the prelims, we finished second in our heat and we didn't look up to the task. But something key that happened was we watched the prelims, watched the tape on it, came together as a team and saw what we had to improve. And we went out there, despite the fact that we were underdogs, we still believe we can win if we just cleaned up our race. And we went out there and got the job done. I also gave a speech to fire the guys up, let them know like, this is our shot, we can really do this. Let's go out there and get it done. And everyone responded, and then we became world champions. So in summary, we saw that we had slow handoffs in the prelims, and we knew just based on the numbers, if we got our act together in the finals, we can come together and run a lot faster and challenge for that gold medal. I gave a fiery speech to get everybody on board. They all responded to it. We went out there and executed our handoffs to perfection and smashed our Canadian record, ran 37:48, and showed the world what we can do. So beyond just winning the gold medal, it was a psychological victory for us moving forward because we knew A, we could be the best in the world, and B, despite not having individual success, we knew that we can come together as a unit and beat everybody else in the field. Anything is possible when Team Canada comes together as a unit. Remember that going forward.
Aaron Brown, reliable opening leg runner for Canada, is in 5.
All right, so we finally did it. We're the defending champions. We're flying high. We broke the Canadian record. We won on US soil. We showed the world what Team Canada is capable of, and now everybody's taking us seriously. And then we got embarrassed in 2023. So we went to the World Championships in Budapest, and that was a rough one for everybody on the team. We went out there in the prelims and we ran with a different squad than we ran in the finals, which goes away from the strategy that we normally use. We stick with the same unit so we can get that cohesion down, run together as a unit, feel really confident and strong going to the finals. But we mixed it up with Andre sitting out to rest for the 200-meter finals, which is on the same day as the 4x1, and ultimately we paid the price as a team. We made a decision and it is what it is. We were embarrassed. We didn't make the finals, which was tough coming off a world championship gold medal. Not even make the finals, man. It was embarrassing, but it was a slice of humble pie that we needed in order to recalibrate and let everyone know that we need to buy in if we really want to make this Olympic gold our reality the next year in Paris. We all have to be on the same page. We have to buy in and really put all our eggs into this 4x1 basket. So fast forward to 2024, as you can see here, the guys got back together. The A squad was together again. The world championship team that won that gold medal in 2022 was back together again. And we came away with a silver medal in the 4x1 and punched our ticket to the Paris 2024 Olympics at the World Relays in the Bahamas. But as you can see here in our interview, we all echoed the same sentiment. We're not done. We weren't happy with our silver medal. We weren't satisfied. We knew that we can challenge for that gold medal despite the fact that the US was running really, really fast times early. We knew we were gonna be ready. We're gonna clean up and get our act together and be ready for that big dance in 2024.
Aaron, that's the first medal in the men's 4x100-meter relay at the World Relays, silver. Describe the moment.
I've been a part of some blunders with the 4x1 here, so it was good to get that off our back and get on the podium. Obviously, we're disappointed we want to win, but we know what we got to fix to get there at the top of the podium in Paris, so we're not done. You know, a lot of us are just starting up our season, starting to get into shape. When we get our guns ready, we'll be ready to fire.
It feels great, but I mean, it's not what we wanted, but we're pretty happy with it. You know, as AB said, it's the first medal of the World Relays. We're pretty happy with it, but as a pirate, you want the shiny stuff, you want gold. When the time is right, which is in Paris, like, we'll get there. I know that for a fact, we'll get there.
It was a great performance, you know, so stepping stone to Paris, and, you know, every day we just got to keep getting better and better, and, you know, from there, you know, the sky's the limit.
Can we expect this to be the showdown in Paris?
Yeah, I think it's going to be us, the US, and probably Italy. I mean, I think we're the top 3 contenders right now. Of course, there's a sleeper team, Japan and France. We're feeling good. We're happy with the performance. We'll go back and look at some stuff. We know that we ran 37.4 with what the US won today with the gold, so we know we can run that. It's just about putting it all together when it counts, and I think it's early in the season, so all of us will go back to our respective camps, you know, work on our craft, get ready for the trials, and then of course the Olympic Games, and then we'll come back together and try to do it all over again. The last time I ran with this group was Oregon. This crowd was amazing. It was loud, so it's going to be loud in Paris as well. So this atmosphere kind of built us up for that.
We have got the Canadians, world champions in Eugene. Brilliant quartet.
And now we finally get to Paris 2024. We came off the World Relays where we got a silver medal. We knew we weren't done. We had more to accomplish, and we all set our sights on that Olympic gold in Paris. But before we ended up like this, I had my visions on that Olympic gold medal from the moment that the medal came out and they announced what it looked like. This was my background on my phone, just to set the tempo and remind myself every day at training that this is what I was working for. And sometimes you just gotta manifest it. But the crazy behind the scenes story about the lead up to getting this Olympic gold medal was the fact that I was training with so many of Team USA's 4x100m relay members. Guys like Kyrie King, Kenny Bednarek, Courtney Lindsay, eventually Christian Coleman, all on Team USA's team. I mean, that's the majority of the squad right there. And after they beat us at the World Relays, they're feeling real confident. Even my coach was joining in, poking fun at us, saying that we had no shot. And there was even one Star Athletics practice where they were passing the baton sticks, but Kyrie had left to go to LA to do sticks with Fred, so I had to fill in and take passes from Courtney on third leg. So these are the things that the world doesn't know. Clearly I'm the only Canadian in the group, but I'm there at practice helping out Team USA at the instruction of my coach, doing some handoffs at the end of practice. Nothing crazy, of course, just going through the tempo, but still, it's the principle of it, man. It felt wrong, you know, I'm Canadian through and through. But anyways, ultimately, as you can see, we ended up with the gold medal safely in the hands of the Canadians, back with the Maple Leaf for the first time since 1996. And as you can see here, the journey is now complete. The 12-year journey that started in London 2012, all roads lead to Paris, and our destiny was fulfilled on August 9th on Friday in Paris. But it all started back in 2012. But now I think it's time to get into that race, to let you guys know exactly how we secured the gold and give you what you guys clicked this video for, man. It's time to react to the Olympic gold 4x100m relay. Are you guys ready to see history? If you're Canadian, I know you've seen this race so many times, but we're about to watch it one more time, this time with commentary live from yours truly. So without any more waiting, it's time to react.
Ignored everything that was going on inside them, and they have stormed to victory.
Okay, let's get into this reaction. But before we dive into it, I want to introduce you guys to the Stream Deck, which is a bunch of sound effects to add a little more dramatic effect to this reaction. I told you guys it's gonna be worth the wait, and this is gonna take it over the top. It's gonna be epic. I like this a lot. I'll try not to overdo it with this, but this is gonna be fun. All right, so let's take it back to Paris. I had just finished running my individual events, ending with the 200 meters. It couldn't have gone any worse. I ran 3 200-meter races after having to run the Gulag Repechage round, and each one was slower than the last, and I just did not feel good. The truth is, I came into Paris, I got really sick, and I just wasn't feeling myself. I feel like I lost some fitness when I was resting and trying to recover, and then I was just in my head overall. I was feeling pretty good at the Barcelona training camp before I left, but once I got into Paris, I got sick, and I just truly never felt like I got my energy back. And you need to be at your best when you're at the Olympics running the 200 meters against the best guys in the world at the biggest stage of your career. But it wasn't meant to be, and truth be told, that whole season my confidence really was all over the place, so getting sick just really sent me into a frenzy. But when you're at the Olympics, nobody's trying to hear your excuses. Everybody's dealing with something, so I had to have a short-term memory and bounce back and get into the blocks to represent my country, Canada, and represent for my boys. So let's start with this 4x1 prelims. So I'm down in the blocks, we're in lane 6. All right, so I get out, and normally I'm making up a little bit more stagger than that. And then you got the handoff there. Oh boy, stop. Okay. We're gonna have to rewind that back because that was a disaster. So first off, just look at that stagger. I normally make up a little more room than that. I didn't make up any ground, and you can see here, everything looks the same as it did coming out of the blocks. If anything, I might have given up a little bit of a step to the guy on the outside. I believe that's France. And then I pull a little bit even there, so it's about even at this part of the race. But you can see when Jerome takes off, that gap is huge, because normally we have a really big gap. We're about 30-ish, 31 steps, maybe sometimes 32 when I'm feeling good. And normally I'm feeling good and I can make that up pretty easily, but I wasn't feeling the greatest, especially with how I performed in the 200, and Jerome was itching. This is his first time touching the track, and you know, he's hungry. So he took off the mark pretty good. And you can see there, I stretch out to go get him. Just not a good pass. I mean, we stretch out the zone, so that's a good thing. You always want to stretch out the zone to increase your zone time. Just overall, not a great leg by me, I'll be honest. And then you got Jerome humming down the backstretch. And you can see here, Canada tied for first. So Jerome did his thing, man. He was hungry and he was ready. Good pass to Brendan. They usually always are pretty good. And then Brendan does his thing, and we're right in the lead. So right around here, I'm thinking, oh, we got this. But if you can see that exchange, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Look at that. By the time Andre gets it, let's do it one more time. By the time Andre gets it, China takes off, and that lead that we had was just evaporated. So here I'm thinking, all right, Andre's gonna walk him down. But to my surprise, I see France walk by Andre. Like, bro, when do you ever see Andre get walked down in a 4x1? That's how I knew something was up. So this whole prelim was a disaster, to be honest. We ran 38.3, which is one of the slowest times this quartet has ran ever. We were in a premium lane, we're in lane 6, and I didn't really do anything on my leg. Jerome did his thing, Brendan did his thing, and then Andre at the end just didn't look like Andre. His leg wasn't horrible, but it wasn't up to Andre's standards. Let's go again and watch the replay. So I get out, and normally I'd be up on France a little bit more. And then you can see here with this pass, I'm stretching out, which is okay to stretch the zone, but you know, it's a little dangerous. And I want to get him feeling good, like running past him. And then here you can see on anchor, France even threw his finger up because he knew. He's like, oh, I just walked down Andre DeGrasse, Olympic 200-meter champion from Tokyo. So he's like, yo, salute to us in the crowd. They're the top 2 automatic qualifier, and it was ugly, man. We had to qualify on time. We were the last ones in. If we were in heat 1, we wouldn't have made it. That would have been our whole Paris experience, going out sad again, just like we did in Budapest. But luckily, that wasn't the case.
And Canada now has a complete set of Olympic medals: bronze in Rio, silver in Tokyo, and gold here in Paris.
Okay, the 4x1 Olympic final. Team Canada makes it in by the skin of their teeth, but we still made it in. Like I said, if we were in heat 1, our time wouldn't have been good enough to make it in. There were teams that ran 38.0, 38.1, and they didn't get in. But as you know, the story didn't end there. We ran 38.3, 38.36 or something like that. We don't run those type of times, but alas, that is what we did. And we get into the finals. So we go through the mix zone and we're giving our interviews, and I say something like, any lane they give us, we'll get the job done. Lane 2, lane 9, or they could put us in the stands. We're gonna go out there, as long as we got these 4 guys, we're gonna go out there and shock the world. And then I told them, don't be fooled by the prelims. That's a term coined by Gavin Smelly.
Canadian quartet in the final.
Expect magic, you know. Don't be fooled by the prelims. That's a quote that Gavin and I used to say back in the day. It is what it is in the first round, but we're gonna fix some things. We're gonna watch the tape. We got the best coaches.
I love to bring that into the mix because that's something that we love to say to each other. And we've said that throughout the years in the relay team, which basically just means no matter what we run in the prelims, what we look like, don't count out Canada. We can still get the job done and create a magic moment. Yes, sir. So we're saying all the right things in the mix zone, but when we finally have our team meeting, reality sets in like, yo, we just ran 38.3. I didn't have a great opening leg, probably one of the slowest opening legs I've ever had. Andre, as we saw, got walked down, did not look good, and Andre never gets walked down. He's the one that does the walking down, and the pass between him and Brendan was awful. It just didn't look good. It didn't look good at all. Our biomech guy, Dana Way, was optimistic. He's our biomech guy that films each race and times us, tells us our zone times, and tells us where we can improve. And he was saying, I know guys, like, it looks impossible right now, but just trust me, if we execute through the zones, we got a shot at this thing. And they're aiming for the podium. That was the goal for them. They said, even with the same slow legs that we ran, where we had no juice in our legs, he said we could run in the range of 37.5 to 37.6 if we just clean up the zone times. That's how important and critical it is to have a good pass. So our zone times were awful. Like Andre and Brendan's zone pass pass was textbook awful. It was 0.3. We lost so much time there. And like we saw, we were winning the race and that last pass just slowed us down. So it's the next day, the day of the finals. And the only one that's hype in the room is Brendan. Luckily, he has that infectious energy where he can get everybody feeling good and hyped. And he's kind of telling us like, yo guys, cheer up. This is the Olympic Games. We got to cherish these moments. Not everybody gets to call himself an Olympian, but we are fortunate enough to be Olympic medalists and we got another shot to get on the podium again. Come on guys, cheer up, smile. So I'm kind of brushing him off like, yeah, whatever. I just kind of want to get the hell out of Paris. And you know, Andre's kind of feeling the same. We're still sour about our individual events and we're not too hyped going into the finals, being the last one in. But we're gonna go through the motions anyways, because you know, the country's relying on this. So I remember going through my shakeout and I had such low motivation and I was just kind of going through the motions. But then I looked at my phone lock screen and I saw my family when we met up in Paris. I'm like, nah, I gotta do it for them. So fast forward and now we're at the warm-up track getting ready to run before the finals. And I remember my coach came by the Canadian tent and he was kind of like, yo, you guys ready to do this thing? And then Brendan said something back like, are you guys ready for our hot fire and talking trash to the US? And I was like, yo, this guy really believes, like he's not just playing, like he actually believes we can win this thing. And in our warm-ups, I started to believe. I did a practice handoff with Jerome. First one was a little shaky and I said, nah, we're going again. And that second one, that one was money. I didn't stretch out like I did in the prelims. I actually ran through him and I gave a nice pass. And then I said, yo, I can do this. I'm back. I feel some juice in my legs. And then Andre and Brendan did a pass and Andre actually accelerated. He wasn't favoring his hammy. He actually got off the mark and their pass was good. The zone time was good. And I'm like, yo, he looks better. And then we all started to believe. So now the energy's coming up a little bit. And we're starting to think, yo, we got this, we can do this. What Dana said in the meeting, we can make this happen.
I understand it now.
Yes, I understand it. I see the vision. So now we're going inside, we're getting ready to go into the call room. But before we go in, something just hits me. I'm like, yo, I gotta solidify this. I feel this energy, I gotta say something on it. So Glenn Wright gives his spiel, and right before we go, I said, hold up. And I give my famous speech that everyone keeps referencing.
Aaron Brown had a speech, as he did in Eugene, had another one here where he talked about, I won't use the words that he used, but simply put, it was basically, we are going to go out there and we are going to win gold. And that's exactly what they did.
And everyone wanted to know what I said. I basically said something to the effect of, we got this opportunity right in front of us. Paris has not been the way we all expected, but we can leave with this thing with everyone saying congratulations, rather than everyone feeling sorry for us if we just take advantage of this moment. No matter what happened in Paris, if we get this thing done and we leave as Olympic champs, nobody's gonna remember everything else. The best deodorant to mask the smell of a crappy championships is to win Olympic gold.
Gold to Canada!
So with that, let's get right into the race. Hold on, gotta set the mood again. And, hold up, one more thing. Boom, now we're ready. Yeah, I told you I'm not playing around. Let's react to this thing.
The men's 4x1 final.
Let's do it for the country. Let's do it for the 6. Okay, so the intro. Let me talk about the intro real quick. So first of all, Canada's coming out.
Canada.
But as you can see, there's not enough room for us to get out all together. So Andre's kind of awkwardly stuck in the back, kind of killing the vibe a little bit. I mean, Paris, it was a nice setup, but come on, you gotta open up the borders a little bit. Let 4 guys through. Gotta think about that one a little bit more. But anyways, Canada's coming through, throwing up our trademark X, let's go. And right there, you see that? Hold on, let me go back. So right there, we're all saying good luck, do your things, everyone's running off to their zones. And right here, I just knew I had to say something to Andre, put a bug in his ear, let him know, I believe in you. You're my anchor, you will get this done. Just in case he had any doubts about his hamstring and no, I didn't have him in the championship. I don't know, I didn't perform the way I wanted to individually, I didn't come through, I was the defending champion. None of that mattered anymore. You are the anchor for Team Canada. And you will bring it home for us. I believe in you. Let's go. But as you can see right here, I dap his chest up a little bit and you see that little smirk? That's because I said, be Andre DeGrasse. That's it. Simple words, remind him, be who you are, bring it home for the 6. So then you see I'm running off, shades on, hold on. We're ready to go. Team China coming out, I know they're feeling good after they won the prelims. They do a little salute to the crowd. They got a little runoff. The young squad here, South Africa, you got 3 young bucks with Sean just graduating, and then the veteran leadership from Simbine. These guys are dangerous. And then you got the hometown team. I like this. This is nice. This is nice. I'll give them a shout out for that. They get a little funk messer flex bomb. And then you see the crowd, Allez Le Bleu, they started chanting. They got real loud, so it was nice to be in a nice raucous crowd versus what we had in Tokyo. And then obviously the favorites, Team USA. 3 of these guys I train with, Christian, Kyrie, and Kenny, so salute to them. I'm gonna give them a bomb as well. They're obviously feeling good, flexing, they're the favorites, ready to go. Then you got GB. GB is a team that I feel is our biggest rival. When the US is on, I mean, it's hard to beat them. They just got so much talent. They got so many people that can fill the legs on their relay team. They could probably field 3 different gold medal winning teams. But GB, no matter who they put out, they're always gonna be a threat because they're just like us. They focus on the fundamentals. They put the people that they need in the right zones, and they got their staples that they rely on for years. You know, Mitchell Blake, they got Zarnell. So never could sleep on GB. And you can see Azu, he's saying it's our time. Japan, that's another one. No matter who they put out, they're always gonna be clean through the zones. And if they work those zone speeds, that's what makes them dangerous. And now the newcomers, the defending champions from Tokyo with head by Jacobs, and then you got Tortu on the anchor, they're dangerous as well. They're another team that has good fundamentals. Pause it right there. Let me go back. So, you see this? I dap up my boy Coleman. As I said, he joined the training group in 2024. And then right here, I say to him, let's go make history. Right now, I'm behind the blocks. I'm getting ready. I'm just taking in the scenery. For the first time ever, I'm looking out into the crowd, trying to find my wife because I thought she was on this side near me, near the starting, but she's actually on the opposite side. But I'm feeling relaxed. I'm like, yo, this is my last race at Paris. Let's make it a good one, you know? I wanna go out on a good note. So far, the championship hasn't gone my way, but let's turn this around. But right there, I'm drinking my water as I always do. I take a sip before each race so I don't have a dry mouth. But I didn't know that the camera was on me this whole time. I would have been flexing, throwing my X like I always do, but then they switched to everybody else in the zone. You can see Brendan, he's feeling good. He's hype. And then Andre, he's ready to go, ready to anchor us. Got China again, salute. They're a young team too, look at that. Everybody's 20 except for Z. That's crazy how many young bucks were in this race. Then look at this team, 18, 19, 23, and then 30. So we're probably the oldest team out there. We got Brendan and I are both 32. Andre's 2 years younger. Then you got Zeze. Shout out to the home team again. I just like the energy, man. I like the vibes, you know, it creates a good atmosphere. So they get another bomb, throwing up the 4s. I like it. Coleman, letting them know, USA. Shout out to them. Yes, sir. My boys, Kyrie, Kenny, and you got Big Fred on the anchor. Azu, he understands.
I understand it now.
That's the symbol right there.
I understand it now.
They're a young team as well, 23, 22. And then you got the vets, Zarnell and Mitchell Blake. They're throwing up, I think this is the Naruto. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure this is the Naruto. And then the Dragon Ball Z. Shout out to them. I like the unity, you know, it's nice, it's nice. And you got Italy defending champs. They're like, yo, we got this, we're in lane 2, but you know, you can't count them out. Tough lane draw for them. You never know. The unexpected is always a common thing in these races. All right, so you see the lane set. They say on your marks. He's got a little intro. Okay, so right now I'm thinking, I just gotta get out. I switched back to these spikes right here, the Max Fly 2s, because we're in lane 9. So normally, as I've said in the videos before, I don't like wearing the Max Flies in the turn. I gave them a chance throughout the year, and inner lanes, you know, it just wasn't vibing with me. And I ran with these in the 200 in the first 2 rounds, and I just didn't feel like I was getting off the turn. I switched to the Jaw Flies in the semifinals, and you could see in the semifinals, I got out, and I had a really, really good start. And I was good up until about 120, I just ran out of steam. I just didn't finish, but I had a really good curve, and that's all I'm running right here is the curve. But being in lane 9, I'm gonna be on the straightaway for a long portion of the race. So I said, all right, I can switch back to these spikes and basically run like I'm on a straightaway for as long as possible. So my objective, I'm in lane 9, I'm running blind, I'm running scared. Just get out, just run through Jerome, do not outstretch, just get him that stick, and let the rest of the team do what they gotta do. Are you ready? It's time to react to this. Team Canada, let's go. One more. Let's go. Boom. So I'm out. You see that drive? First off, look at that. All right, so let's just rewind it back. From the jump, I put meters on China, okay? I mean, from go, bow. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. You get up and you see I already created a gap. That's how I knew I'm feeling good. Once I blasted out the blocks like that, I'm like, yes, this is the start I needed. Obviously I can't see behind me. I don't have eyes in the back of my head, but it just felt good. I didn't feel breathing on me. I didn't feel footsteps in my vicinity. I just feel like that felt good. That rhythm feels good. So I'm off to a good start. I even get mentioned by the announcer, freeze. If I got this pass off right here, that zone speed would have been crazy. It would have been like a 2.6. And normally, like I said, Dana said all we needed was 2.7s. Like in Eugene, I had a 2.74 from me to Jerome, and that put us in the mix. That neutralized the Christian to Noah combo. Here, if I had got that off clean, I mean, look at everybody else. They're not even close to passing. Like South Africa's not there yet. China's still trying to get there. Great Britain's almost there. Looks like Japan is almost there. But I'm already outstretched. I'm trying to hit Jerome's hand. If I hit him there, I'm telling you, we would have knocked off at like 2/10 from what we ran. But as we know, I missed. So you can see there, I fumbled a little bit. We could rewind it. We could slow it down a little bit. So missed there. Jerome kept his hand up, missed again, but then I got it in there just because he stayed patient. And even with those mess ups, still created a great gap. So that leg, shout out to your boy. That was a good leg. Now, leg 2. Freeze there. You can see Jerome is humming it. He's running on a straight. So Jerome on the fly is one of the fastest guys on any leg. So if you get him in lane 9 where he starts on the straightaway and gets to accelerate versus the curve, he's gonna fly. And so he did his thing. Even though we messed up the baton exchange, he still got it clean near the end of the zone and he's out of there. That's the moose. That's the moose right there. Exchange with Brendan, clean. That's money. I like that leg. Okay, so now you can see the race is starting to open up. The race always unfolds on leg 3. So Brendan's got it, he's running. China's got it, they're gonna start running. South Africa's got it. France is about to exchange. And then down here, you can see Japan is ready to go. And so is Italy. And then Brendan, he's humming it, freeze. So hold up, let's get to the yellow. Either Brendan or Japan are in the lead right now. Honestly, Italy's in the mix too. So those 3 guys are all in the yellow and you can see everyone else is far behind. France is pretty close as well. But from this shot right here, it's Canada, Japan, and Italy. And what did I say about through the zone times? Fundamentally sound. Those are the squads. And honestly, GB is right there as well. They're just maybe a slight step behind and then France is right there as well. But this is what it comes down to. You can see from the outgoing runners, Tortu's taking off, Japan's taking off, Andre's taking off. Do the pass, and look at that. Much cleaner. Remember the prelims? How Brendan to Andre was messed up and we lost so much time just trying to get through the zone. Andre actually accelerated off the mark, got it to Andre, and we always have more room with them. That's the thing, like we can always go faster. Not only did Jerome and I mess up and cost us time with the bobbling with the baton, but they get it in half. If we ever got to the point where Andre gets off the mark, we open up a little bit more and he accelerates and we get them at the end of the zone, I'm telling you, you can go even faster. But let's see what happens here. Freeze. All right, so Japan looks like they're cleanest through the zone. Japan looks like they're in the lead right now. Tortu's right there with Italy. They're probably neck and neck with us. It's hard to tell from this vantage point with this camera angle, but it's clear. Us 3 are right there. And then you got South Africa, France, and GB in pursuit. So at this point, I'm screaming. It looks like we're winning. Freeze. Okay, look at this, man. Now Zarnell and Akani are running the legs of their lives. They got back into the mix. But Andre, I believe in you. Oh, hold up. We didn't give third leg for Brendan. Good leg, good leg, good leg. But back to Andre. From this vantage point, it looks like they're all neck and neck, and we just need him to get that last little bit. History.
Gold to Canada! Gold to Canada! Canada! Canada!
Bang. 37.50. Magic.
Canada!
What a race, man. I'm honestly lost for words. Like, just watching it again, I'll never get tired of watching that race. You know, this reaction right here is so genuine. I'm losing my mind. That scream, woo! Pure bliss, pure ecstasy. Come on, man.
Gold to Canada! Gold to Canada! Canada! Canada!
Andre gets the stamp of approval. And then we're showing the third leg again. And look at Brendan, humming it. Hi, 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 hi. I like it. And you can see Jerome in the background just screaming, go, go, because he knows. He ran his leg, and we're in this thing. And then it comes down to the anchor leg. Yeah, Japan's third leg did his thing. Kiryu, he did his thing, and they had a great pass. And then, but Andre gets on his high horse. Look at Sabine. Sabine and Zarna were closing. Everyone's fighting, reaching for the line. Boom. Iconic.
Gold to Canada!
I love it. So at this point, I'm still out there losing my mind. I'm just screaming. I mean, Brendan and Andre are speechless. I don't know where Jerome is. He's on the other side turning up somewhere. I'm just losing my mind, man, because it went from the worst meet of my life to the best moment of my life. And we're talking about the race like, yo, like we did it. And you can see there, we didn't even break our national record. Season's best, 37.50. We could have ran 2/10 faster just with me and Jerome not messing up the pass. That's 37.30, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know your quick math.
Doesn't matter how fast you are individually, you have got to get the baton round, and the Canadians are the Olympic champions.
Let's watch it again from Dana's vantage point in the crowd, see what he was looking like without the commentary, raw footage. Just focused on Canada. See, look at that drive, just getting out. Oh, hit him. Oh, man, this, you can really see how much time I cost. Just bring it back, just bring it back. Just look at this. See, hold on. When I get inside the zone, boom, boom, boom. See, I was there. And actually, the fact that I was there that's quick, probably it's good that I missed. So Jerome had more of an acceleration because this is way before the half mark. Like you could see here, the white dash is the half mark. So I would have got it in maybe too fast. So honestly, we could have probably opened up the mark, and that's more speed right there because Jerome gets more of an acceleration, but I missed. Bang, you can see I miss his hand. Just keep it. Yep, then he gets it, and the yellow mark is right there. We still get it in the zone. But lesson for you young guys in the relay. If your guy misses, do not try and help him with his hand. Jerome did a great job keeping it there, and it's my job as the incoming runner to make sure I get the target, I get into his hand, and it's masterclass right there. That's how you win Olympic golds.
Gold to Canada!
All right, let's watch the rest of the race. And look at Jerome, high stepping. Ooh. Yeah. High stepping. Nice pass. And then we got Brendan. So from this vantage point, look at that. So from this vantage point, this is why angles matter. You can see like we handed off first and we look like we're in the lead. Go a little bit more. Look at that. Andre's running. Let's rewind a little bit. Andre's got the stick. Japan hasn't even passed yet. Italy hasn't even passed yet. We're the first ones to pass. But because they stretch out the zone a little bit more, the outgoing runner got a little bit more of an acceleration. That's why you see them make up ground quickly on Andre. And it looks like they're in the lead, but even still, no. It looks like Andre is leading the whole time. And as it opens up, woo, you see the boys in the side. Hold up, let me go back real quick. Just watch Watch Simbine and Zarnell. They're coming, boy. Woo! Went right by Japan and Italy, but shout out to Canada.
Gold to Canada! Canada!
Iconic, man, iconic. I love it.
And look at what a brilliant leg Brown had on the outside. Excellent work.
All right, let's watch the race one more time, this time from the Canadian broadcast.
Canada!
So again, you can see right here in this graphic, number 9, we were the 9th team. We were the last team to make it into the finals. I don't think you guys realize what kind of belief it takes to believe in yourself coming in as the last ranked team. Jerome, he knows, he understands it.
I understand it now.
See, when he's marking out his mark, he's like, I believe, I understand.
I understand
We can win this thing. I like it, Jerome. And you got my boy Bucky holding on that third leg, taking in the crowd, and then again, dapping up Coleman, saying, let's make history. Get my swig of water. So they're talking about Andre and his hamstring, see if it affects him. And then they talk about my age. They said, this might be my final Olympic moment. No, I'm still going, baby. I still got juice. So you can see the girls waiting to cheer us on. Shout out to the Canadian women as well.
Canada!
They made the final, first time in a long time, so shout out to them. But this camera angle focuses just on Canada. And I want this whole reaction to be just on us. Let's go. Boom. So we're out of there. Driving. Run a drum. Let's go. Go. High. Miss. Stay patient. Yes, got it. Jerome, high step moves. Let's go. Down the back straight. Perfect pass. Yup. Bucky. Yup. He's rolling. I believe. Andre, good pass. Brendan takes a look. I think we can win this. Come on, Canada. Let's go, Canada. Go. Look at the girls. They're going crazy. Donovan. It's always great to see the past legends shout you out, man. Shout out to Canada. We got a rich history now. You can see me, I'm screaming. I'm like, what? Let's go. I still couldn't believe it. It was just, there was very few moments in my life where I look back like I was very, very happy in that moment. That was one of them. Birth of my kids, my wedding, this right here. And I love this from Dre. We got it. He just knew. Iconic shot. And we're posing up with the flags. Yes, sir. Canadian history right there.
Canada! Gold to Canada!
So you can see from this angle, first one to pass, Team Canada. And we were supposed to ring the bell, but they had to run another race, so we did our victory lap first. And then we got to ring the bell, which was cool. I think that's the bell that's at Notre Dame. Cool part of history, man. We're in the history books forever, Olympic champs. You can see us dapping up in the crowd. Yeah. Love it, man. C'est la vie. Number 1. Went from the bottom to the top. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Shout out to Jersey. Anyways, let's hear from Donovan Bailey real quick.
In the men's 4x100m relay, seasonal best 37.50. They win the gold.
Unforgettable Friday night, dripping in red, white, and gold. Describe the moment, Aaron Brown.
Hey, before we went in, I said a lot of blues happened. I didn't use that word. I used the cuss word, but I'm not going to say it on TV. But I said the best deodorant for doo-doo is an Olympic gold medal. So no matter what happened, we can cover up everything that happened if we finish it with a gold, and that's exactly what we did. I love these guys. I wouldn't be out here with anybody else. So what can I say? We're Olympic champions forever.
It's all confidence when you got faith in the people you're with, right? So for us, the main objective was, focus on the check, focus on the person that's running to you. And we know if we did that, it's going to be magical. The 4x1 is not all about how fast you run individually. It's about how fast you run as a unit. I was just talking to the guys down there and said, did you know we just created history? This is a team that's going to go down in history. At this point, we're the new fast forward.
I think probably my voice is going to be gone later on because I screamed Andre down the track, but we're like brothers, so we can talk about it, laugh about it, and just move forward. Aaron's going to tell me stop messing around, or I'll tell him to stop messing around. Andre, the same thing. Jerome, he's just Jerome.
It was all on these guys right here. They did the work. Watching them run, I mean, all I had to do was just high step it and bring it home. I mean, you know, they made my job easy, and I'm just super grateful for this moment, and it's a good way to end the game. Some of us have our kids here, so just an amazing moment for them. So, you know, they can get inspired, and maybe one day they might be an Olympian. So I think we're just super happy that we got the job done, and this is a moment that we'll remember for the rest of our lives.
Aaron, you've always said that each race is a blank canvas. On this canvas, pure gold. How are you going to remember this?
It's the Mona Lisa. We're in Paris, right? Hang it in the Louvre. Take this moment, take a picture of us four, hang it in the Louvre. We're immortalized forever, baby. Olympic champs.
We had a meeting yesterday, and what we talked about was simple. How do you want to leave Paris? How do you want to leave the Olympic track here? Because there's no guarantee any of us will be back in 4 years. How do you want to leave it? Do you want to leave it with a medal? Do you want to just leave it as one of the rest of the field? They decided tonight that they wanted to leave it as Olympic champions.
Aaron Brown was fantastic. Aaron Brown put 2 meters on his opponents, and that's exactly what you need to do coming out the hole. They botched the handoff a little bit, but again, what it shows is that his handoff to Jerome kept the target steady. He got the stick, and then he handed off to Rodney, and Rodney was spectacular. These guys, I'm sure they were salivating after their individual races. They knew that they had to run a fantastic race like this today to win.
What's the most important part in a watch? Can't be a most important part in a watch, because you need every part in sync in order for the watch to work.
One of the things that we started back in the day was familiarity with each other. And Glenn Orr, clearly as the head coach right now, is continuing this. 3 really good young guys in our relay program.
Yeah.
However, keeping this team together and these 4 men understanding the importance of what it is that need to be done today.
That's the Olympics for you. Just a little bit of maple leaf magic.
All right, so we heard from Donovan Bailey, the legend himself, the Canadian legend himself. Shout out to Donovan.
Canada, Canada.
So we heard from him about why he thought we won, but now I'm gonna give my gold medal details. Number 1, being in lane 9. Why is that an advantage? Well, after what happened in the prelims, the last thing we needed was to be distracted by another team. Being in lane 9 allowed us to focus on just ourselves, just focus on Team Canada and get the job done. Focus on what we needed to do. Being on the straightaway for Jerome on the backstretch, I think was a helpful thing because it allowed him to get him to his top speed a lot quicker and hum down that backstretch and have a better acceleration. And also for Andre, you know, he had his hamstring injuries that he was worried about, and pushing off was a concern for him. But being on the straightaway, your acceleration is going to be better when you get that pass from Brendan. So I think that helped. And for me, I could just focus on myself. I didn't have to worry about anybody else in the race. And again, I could switch over to these max 5.2s and run it like I was on the straightaway because it's the straightest curve on the track, being on the outside. And lastly, everybody slept on us. We're out in lane 9. We're in no man's land. Everyone's gonna think, oh, we ain't gotta worry about Canada anymore. We were X out of people's minds. So being in lane 9 allowed a lot of people to sleep on us and sneak up on them in the end. Number 2 is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. When we had our meeting, Dana made it very clear. Execute better zone times will drop a lot of time. That's all you have to do. Don't do anything cute. Don't think you have to do anything fancy. Just run better through the zones. Have better passes, run through the zones better. We're gonna run a faster race. Sometimes people complicate it in the relays and they think, oh, I gotta try something new with the steps, and they get all fancy and just adds a lot of anxiety. Don't do that. Keep it simple. Stick to the fundamentals like Glenn Roy always teaches. You can win a Olympic gold. Simple as that. Number 3 is just having more juice. From the warm-ups, I could just tell that everybody was feeling better than we were the day prior. The day after the 200 semifinals, so none of us were feeling good. None of us were feeling like, oh, I'm excited to run this race. We just came off of heartbreak, you know? We didn't reach our dreams of making the finals in the 200 and the individual events. And after the prelims, we didn't feel like we were gonna reach our dreams of making the top of the podium in Paris. But after we went through the warm-ups, we had more juice. We just felt more lively. I ran the slowest leg that I've ran on first leg probably ever in the prelims, just feeling gassed and tired. And then Andre got walked down, and he never gets walked down. He does the walking down. So once we felt better in our warm-ups, we knew we were gonna have more juice in the legs. So even though our zone times were better, our individual legs were all better. We ran inspired, we ran hungry, we went out there to try and get the job done, and that's exactly what we did. I had a way better opening leg. Jerome had his fastest backstretch leg he's ever had. Brendan ran like he used to run, like back in 2015 when he was sliding on the 3rd leg. And then Andre had a classic Andre anchor. We just had faster legs overall. Number 4, we remembered the past. So like I said, running the way we did in Eugene, where we didn't run so hot in the prelims and then came out with the win in the finals, gave us the blueprint on how we could do it again in Paris. So we knew it was possible to go from underdog and being slept on and counted out to winning it all. So having that in our back pocket, we had that to rely on. So it's not like we had to make stuff up and tell ourselves lies that we didn't actually believe in. We literally done it before with these same 4 guys, these same 4 legs on this stage. It just so happens this is the Olympics. So we won once before, we could do it again. Really, number 4.
I understand it now.
Yes, sir. I understand it. And number 5, we just believed, man. We just believed. Sometimes it just feels like fate is on your side and destiny is smiling on you. It definitely felt like everything was against us individually and in the prelims, but in the finals, it just felt like all the pieces were coming together at the right time and the right moment in the clutch to close this thing out, close out Paris, put all the heartbreak to the side. We still had an opportunity to do something big for the country, and we came through clutch at the right time because we truly believed. These group of guys, we really believed we could get the job done. No matter who believed in us, when we said that Canada could win, a lot of people were saying, you know, they're saying, Canada can win gold. We believe, and that belief manifested this gold. Gold medal details, baby.
Canadians smooth through the zone. They run themselves all the way up to the top of the podium.
This whole thing was manifested back from my Tokyo 2021 reaction video. You can go check that one out right here after this video if you haven't seen it. We should be the last ones. We should see the Canadian flag rising the highest, but instead we see the Italian flag. It's just little things, man. Then we gotta listen to their anthem. Nah, one day we'll hero Canada. Trust and believe that. But I literally said in that video, this sets up the perfect lead up for us to win gold in Paris. We just had that right momentum, got the job done when it counted most. But after winning gold, I finally could change the background on my phone from that gold medal. Now that's in my possession. I changed it to this. Just felt complete. And now even though they didn't mention us in season 2 of Sprint where they talked about the 4x1 and made a joke about it in the reel that I posted, we did get a lot of love back home in Canada. After the games, the 4 of us went on what I call the gold medal tour, where we were everywhere. And it started with the billboard that Nike posted at the Yonge and Dundas Square. Still blows my mind seeing how big it was. Me and Jerome as the Nike athletes being up on the big screen in my home city. I'll never forget that moment. I was able to bring my family up and we got to check it out, and I shared that moment with them. And I got to document that whole thing. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and check that video out right here. And we're also honored at many sports events throughout Toronto. We went to different award shows and won different accolades as a team. I was able to visit my high school and my college where we're also celebrated and brought the gold medal around, let everybody see it. I was the marshal in a Santa Claus parade back in my hometown in Toronto. I got to meet Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, and bring him in on the skit that we had and get the last laugh with that. And we won Canada Post Team of the Year, which the last time a track team won it was in '96 when the 4x1 team won it for winning the Olympic gold in Atlanta. And so a full circle moment.
Canada, gold to Canada!
Pretty special stuff, bringing the gold medal around. This thing has opened a lot of doors for me, has gotten me a lot of recognition and a lot of love, and it was the perfect cap off for my journey in Paris. I did vlog while I was in Paris, so you can see all the ups and downs and the emotions I was going through. So expect that to drop sometime in the future, and when it's ready, I'll link it right here.
And Canada did it, Olympic champions, the 4x100m relay. That is something to remember for all time.
Congratulations on the 4x100 gold. Appreciate it. And I just want to take this moment to ask you if there's anything you got to say to Noah Lyles, who said you guys were no competition on the international stage. He went as far as not acknowledging you guys in an interview a couple months ago. Who? His name's Noah. Who? Noah. Who's that? He said you guys were no competition on the international stage. Huh? I like it. I don't know who that is. Who's on top now? Who's on top now? Who's on top now, Noah?
Now, a lot of people ask me if I brag to my teammates after winning gold and if I let them hear it every day at practice and yada, yada, yada. I purposely left out talking about Team USA in this reaction because I wanted to keep the focus on Team Canada, the team that did win, versus the team that didn't and didn't have the best race. Because A, a lot of those guys are my boys, like I said. 4 of the 6 guys in the relay pool from Team USA, I train with in Star Athletics, and those are my brothers. I'm not gonna talk down on them. They have had success in their own right throughout their careers, and they're legends in their own way. No reason to kick them while they're down. And B, like I said, I want to keep the focus on Team Canada. We had an iconic moment, and I want us to get the full recognition we deserve. Other outlets like NBC and Sprint talk ad nauseum about how they messed up and yada yada. I'm keeping the focus on Team Canada. But I will talk about the disrespect, the who.
Canada.
Everybody wants to know about that one. Obviously, he didn't run the finals, he had COVID. And me personally, I don't feel like there's anything left to say. I mean, we got the gold, so I'm gonna let my guy Justin do the talking for me.
Canada.
Who?
Canada. Who?
So if you guys are unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, I'll refresh your memory right here.
There was going to be no other result. 37.
Rivalry between who?
Canada and yourself. That's a budding rivalry that we want to look at.
Who?
Canada.
Who?
I'm wondering, did you know about that clip before the race or did you just see it after? And if so, what do you remember when you saw it for the first time?
Yeah, when he first did it, it was at World Relays in the Bahamas early this year. And I wrote under Athletics Canada's post and I put the Cam Newton gif where he just said, okay.
Wow.
Because I was just thinking in my head like, all right, we'll see you in the big dance. And unfortunately wasn't there. Get well soon with your COVID. But we had a job to do with whoever was stepping out there on the track. And it was us against the world and we came out victorious. So I guess he knows who we are now.
Canada.
That's who.
Canada. Canada. Gold to Canada.
So we won the ultimate prize. What else is there to say? We got the Olympic gold. Some of the all-time greats in track and field have never won an Olympic gold. So I feel very blessed, very honored to have this in my collection. And that's validation enough for me. This team will go down in Canadian history as one of the greatest teams ever to lace them up in track and field. And for me, that's glory enough. Another reason why I didn't mention Team USA, Team USA, is because I honestly agree with Noah. I don't think there are rivals. And that's not a diss. Trust me, those are my boys. When USA is passing the baton cleanly through the zones, they're hard to beat. They could field 2 to 3 gold medal winning teams. Like you saw at the World Relays, when they're on, they're tough to beat. They're a juggernaut. Pound for pound, they're always gonna have the top team. The only time another team could rival them in terms of depth and talent was during the Usain Bolt Jamaican era. Like I said in the reaction, I feel like our rivals is Great Britain. I mean, if you look at their success versus ours over the years, it's pretty similar and we're pretty close in terms of medal count. They're another team that always has great passing that you can never sleep on, and with the young talent that they have, we both invest heavily into the relay program and take it seriously. They're gonna be a challenge for us in the years to come. But with that said, I still feel like Team Canada can compete with any team in the world.
Canada.
Canada.
Canada. Gold to Canada.
Yeah, that Canada. Yeah.
We're gonna take a picture of us 4 hanging in Louvre. We're immortalized forever, baby. Olympic champs.
So my final thoughts, the Paris Olympics in 2024 will forever be the games where I became an Olympic champion for the first time with my brothers, and I'll always cherish that moment for the rest of my life. It's a part of Canadian history, Canadian heritage moment that I'll pass down and tell my kids when we deliver it on the biggest stage for Canada.
Canada. Gold to Canada.
It will also go down as a meet full of what could have beens individually, but honestly, the more I think about it, the more I think it's set up for a perfect ending for the Paris Games. All of us could buy in. All of us felt that desperation of not wanting to leave Paris on a low note, and we left on the highest golden note possible. There were a lot of missed opportunities that we'll never get back, but we did seize one of them, and that will remain ours forever.
Gold to Canada.
I've always been a glass half empty type of athlete and always focus on the things that I miss so I can improve and get better for the future. And honestly, that's why I think I've been around for so long in this sport. But with this, winning this gold, this moment, I felt true nirvana, true ecstasy. And I was truly happy and appreciative, and I could really sit back and appreciate that moment. And I'll always be grateful for that because we need more of those moments as athletes. It's very easy to be negative and critical and listen to the outside noise and get down on yourself. But every now and then you need reassurance that you are on the right path and your hard work is paying off and you are who you think you are. False starting in the 100 and then not making the finals in the 200 was an epic failure in my book. And there's no getting around that. But when you have an epic failure on the world's biggest stage, you're gonna need an epic moment to cover up for that. And that's exactly what this gold medal represents. And now that we've won this gold medal, only 2 questions remain. 1, how many more gold medals can we win as a team? And 2, can we defend the title in LA 2028? So that was my reaction to becoming an Olympic champion with Team Canada at last year's Olympic Games in the 4x100 meters. I hope it was worth the wait. If you enjoyed this type of reaction video, I have a whole list of reactions that I've done in this reaction playlist right here. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel to join me on the way to 25,000 subscribers. And before I get out of here, I got one thing left to say. We have the complete set of gold, silver, and bronze, but everybody wants to know, what would you have done if you didn't win gold in Paris? I guess we'll never know. I'll see you in the next one.